Welcome. There's the Ayurveda 8-week course out there if you want to learn more about the doshas. Today we're going to focus here on this video on Pitta Dosha. I have Pitta as my secondary dosha, and I am a Vata Pitta Dosha type. One day I will do the doshas in its two forms, where Vata Pitta or Pitta Kapha or Vata Kapha, Kapha Vata. So we're gonna do these on a different day, but for now we're gonna focus on the Pitta Dosha alone. And so Pitta Dosha is fire, right? I like to think of it as 90% fire, 10% water. Just enough water so that you don't burn out. Pitta Dosha is the most ambitious of the doshas out there. It is tremendously intelligent. Intelligent in the sense of real world intelligence. I as Vata being ether and air, I like to think of Vata as the type of intelligence of the spirit, right? But Pitta is like real world intelligence. Okay, these are the type of people who can look at a very complex problem and digest that problem with ease in seconds. My partner is a Pitta dosha, and like I'll look at something and I'll read a passage like three times in slow motion, and she'll read it for like half a second and understand it like immediately, like, through a glance. This is the intelligence of Pitta. They are responsible for our digestion. And so understanding it is about digesting food. So they are the main ones who anything that is considered difficult to digest, like red meat or corn, uh, anything difficult to digest. Wheat is difficult to digest. Pitta has the best opportunity to physically digest those foods, and metabolize them and convert them into energy or whatever. But this also works with digesting a major experience. You just became the CEO of this top conglomerate business and corporation. It can digest what that means and everything they have as a new role, a new responsibility. They can go through a tremendous breakup in their marriage, and they can digest that easier than pretty much any other dosha. Now, the thing is, Pitta is also light in quality, kind of like Vata dosha, okay? Now, Kapha is the heavy one, but Pitta is also light. And so they, much like Vata, they need routine. In order for Pitta dosha to take its worldly ambitions and ability to influence and spread like fire spreads, okay, uh, unless it's contained, the containment of that fire is the routine for Pitta. Okay, so when you can, work out on some set schedule, when you have your eating times, Pitta's ambition sometimes can be so powerful that it can forget to eat. And they're the main ones who become hangry. They're like hungry and angry at the same time. And the last thing you want to do is be in the way of a Pitta dosha who is hungry. Whether that hunger is physical for food or whether it is emotional, you have an emotional hunger to create something, to do something, you don't really want to be in the way of that ambition. Okay, Pitta will burn you. They will criticize you. They will judge you. And this is when Pitta is out of balance. I see this happens a lot when they don't have regular meal times. Okay, because that metabolic fire inside of Pitta is burning. So 333 on screen, drop that in the chat. And so the thing is, if they don't have foods that can help ground their lightness as well as cool down their pungent quality, their pungent taste buds, pungent being fire, um, and spice, if you will. They act like that in the external world. They become spicy. They're very quick to make a remark or a comeback that could really slice somebody's feelings. It can hurt them in a way. And so it's not always an intentional thing. There's something where if you have a partner who's a Pitta, I have a Pitta partner, and I know when she's hungry, I'm like, feed her. I'm not trying to do nothing rational or logic until I feed her. Because it seems like the intelligence of them just kind of goes out the window during that time frame, and they just become another type of animal, if you will. But on the positive side, I like to believe that Pitta has the greatest influence to, as a world leader, spread positivity. Now, simultaneously, they can spread negativity, but let's lean towards the positive. They're the main ones where you want to get behind a leader who is Pitta. You want to get behind them if they have a positive message, if their ideals are strong and they're leaning towards a very, altruistic future or a very positive outlook on life. Pitta is the one who, with their eyes is linked to their liver, and what they see is what they manifest. So when a Pitta is surrounded by nature and green, they see green, they feel more connected to their heart. A Pitta who's connected to their heart is one of the most powerful energies easily on the planet Earth. And so Pitta benefits from wearing things like green. Now, today I'm wearing red. This within itself is a Pitta type color, right? And so if I needed to cool down, I need to take this off and wear a light blue. So Pitta, if you're already a Pitta and you feel like you're raging, wear more light blues, wear more soft, gentle colors. Even a green, connect yourself with your heart. Look at green more often. And you'll find yourself being more compassionate. Sometimes Pitta can be lacking compassion. Not that they're unable to be compassionate, they're just so hungry for success. They're hungry to influence people. The key is you need to be understanding as a Pitta dosha, what do you want to influence? What are your true ambitions? What are your ambitions that are greater than yourself? And when a Pitta gets in tune and aligned with that, they move beyond the material drive for success, and they step outside and they kind of connect more with God. I feel like Pitta dosha, when they can find themselves connected to God, the God inside of them, this is when they're at their most potent. This is when they're led by something that is bigger than themselves. And when I look at this, again, you want to watch TV as a Pitta dosha, or whatever you watch. Let's say it's TV. You want to watch a television show that is in alignment with where you're going, right? So if you're in a stage of love, watch romantic comedies and it'll lighten up your life. Okay. If you watch too much violence, too much, shoot 'em up, bang, bang, um, things blowing up, you will find that happening in your life as well. You will become vigorous. You will become full of conviction. And so that's not necessarily good or bad, depending on the stage of life that you're in. It's just something to be mindful of. You want to not wear too many oranges or bright yellows because your ambition is naturally already high. But you can feel very light. And if you're having a heavy moment in life, it can bring you that lightness. Okay. And so just understand that with Pitta, you have the strongest digestion as a Pitta dosha, and you're digesting life itself. Okay, you're digesting the conversation with your mother. You're digesting, you know, um, your last sexual experience. You digest everything, and a lot of it's through your eyes. And so it helps to meditate. I find for Pitta the most when you close your eyes and you see the God within inside of you and how beautiful that God is, how gentle that God is, how respectable that God is. You no longer look only with your eyes in the physical world, but with this third eye. And I find that when you do this as a Pitta dosha, you start hitting all-time new highs of power. So hit the thumbs up and the likes button if you enjoyed this intro to Pitta. We're going to be diving so much deeper into what Pitta dosha is about, how it can work in combination with the others. We're going to be learning about the 16 qualities, how to focus on medicinal uh, trials, and we're going to be like learning how to solve certain diseases and imbalances in the body, how to unblock certain channels, how to properly block a channel if necessary in the right way, in a healthy way. Uh, the six tastes, sour, astringent, bitter. How does that actually incorporate into our day-to-day life? It's going to go so much deeper than that. The history, the herbal remedies, and so much more in our 8-week Ayurveda course. If that's something interesting to you, you can join us in our membership and do this with us live. I think this is the best possible value where you get a 10 to 16-minute video ahead of time. Before the class, we meet every first and third Sunday of every month. And then when we come in, we focus on the application. We focus on the spiritual accountability. We do the breath work. We do the yogic breathing. We do the qigong. We do the things incorporating what you learn from the class, but actually activating them, incorporating them. So we're moving beyond the intelligence. And Pitta dosha is one who is here to act. You're here to do. And if you can do in alignment and you have a community that's surrounding and backing you, I feel like you're one of the most potent things because this is where your influence spreads, right? Like that's what fire does. It spreads. And if you have that positive influence spreading in your life internally and externally, then the world becomes a better place. You, in my personal opinion, are the number one leader on our planet, Pitta Dosha. And I'm excited to help guide you to the best of my ability until you're off on your own through our community. Check out our membership. Otherwise, you can join and do this 8-week course on your own, self-learned. And I want to say thank you. We'll see you soon. Hit the thumbs up and likes button. Ciao, Pitta Dosha.